Since the vision of Nebuchadnezzar's statue and explanation of it came true many years later, exactly as foreknown, might we conclude that this is an example of spiritual empirical data? Also, the birth, life, death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus Christ was foreknown, long before it all happened. Would this be considered evidence of spiritual empirical reality in this hypothesis? As you know, there are many more instances of prophetic fulfillment within the Christian Holy Bible. This posits that the fulfilled prophecies in the Christian Holy Bible, such as Nebuchadnezzar's statue in Daniel 2, and the foretold birth, life, death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus Christ, could serve as spiritual empirical data, supporting the factuality of the Bible and the existence of an eternal Holy Trinity, within the context of the speculative Earth-centric temporal model. Let's explore whether these prophetic fulfillments constitute spiritual empirical data, and how they align with the hypothesis, particularly in light of the model discussed: time radiating from Earth's magma core, slowing with distance, and ceasing at a temporal boundary. 1. Understanding spiritual empirical data. Definition: empirical data typically refers to information obtained through observation or experiment, verifiable by objective means. Spiritual empirical data is less clearly defined but could imply observable historical events that align with spiritual claims such as prophecies in a way that suggests supernatural causation or divine foreknowledge. In this context, it would mean historical fulfillments of biblical prophecies that point to a spiritual reality, such as God's existence or the Bible's divine inspiration. Context of the hypothesis. The Earth-centric temporal model posits a unique temporal framework centered on Earth, with a timeless eternity beyond a boundary that could host a supreme being like the Holy Trinity. Prophetic fulfillments, if verifiable, could support the idea that a transcendent entity like God operates outside time, influencing events within the temporal Earth-centric bubble, aligning with the model's implications. 2. Nebuchadnezzar's statue, biblical account. In Daniel 2, King Nebuchadnezzar dreams of a statue with a head of gold, chest and arms of silver, belly and thighs of bronze, legs of iron, and feet of iron mixed with clay, which is destroyed by a stone. Daniel interprets this as representing a sequence of empires: Babylonian, gold; Medo-Persian, silver; Greek, bronze; Roman, iron; and a divided kingdom, iron and clay, followed by God's eternal kingdom, the stone. Historically, these empires emerged in this order: Babylon, 605 to 539 BC; Medo-Persia, 539 to 331 BC; Greece, 331 to 146 BC; and Rome, 146 BC to 476 AD in the West, with later fragmentation into weaker states. Prophetic fulfillment. The prophecy, written in the 6th century BC based on traditional dating, accurately predicted the succession of empires which unfolded over centuries. The specificity of the sequence and its alignment with historical events, verifiable through archaeological and historical records, lend credibility to the claim of divine foreknowledge. Spiritual empirical data. This fulfillment could be considered spiritual empirical data if we accept that the prophecy's specificity, such as distinct materials for distinct empires, and historical accuracy suggest a supernatural source, as natural human prediction over centuries is improbable. The events are historically verifiable through cuneiform records for Babylon, Persian annals, or Roman histories, grounding the prophecy in observable reality. In the Earth-centric model, this could imply a timeless God beyond the temporal boundary, who foreknows and orchestrates events within Earth's temporal field, consistent with the Holy Trinity's eternal nature. 3. Prophecies of Jesus Christ, biblical account. The Old Testament contains numerous prophecies about the Messiah, fulfilled in the New Testament accounts of Jesus' birth, life, death, burial, and resurrection. Examples include birth, Micah 5:2, 8th century BC, predicts the Messiah's birth in Bethlehem, fulfilled in Matthew 2:1. Life and ministry, Isaiah 61:1-2, circa 8th century BC, describes a spirit-anointed figure preaching good news, fulfilled in Luke 4:18-21. Death and burial, Isaiah 53:5-9. 8th century BC foretells As a suffering servant pierced for transgressions, buried in a rich man's tomb, fulfilled in Matthew 27:57 through 60 and John 19:34 through 38. Resurrection. Psalm 16:10, 10th century BC, states the Holy One will not see decay. Interpreted as resurrection in Acts 2:27 through 31, fulfilled in Matthew 28:6. Prophetic fulfillment. These prophecies, written centuries before Jesus, align with New Testament accounts, 1st century AD. Historical evidence for Jesus' existence: Tacitus' Annals and Josephus' Antiquities.